Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am aggravated that the pandemic is still going on and that all places have to be closed because the bookstore that I ran my monthly open mic at is closed, which we have to run in Zoom meetings now, which, goes well, but you're still away from people. The other things that I've noticed, I'm going to try to get these things right for you guys, is that, sorry about that, you guys, I'm just trying to get the camera set up here while I'm working on this stuff on my own. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hi there. I feel bad that in pandemic times we cannot go to the bookstore open mic that I ran at the affiliate with the public library in Austin for my open mic, and I feel bad that my friend Tom, who ran First Wednesday's open mic called Community Poetry at Half Price Books, is not running. He's not setting it up as a Zoom meeting, so it's just not going on right now. That saddens me because I would always come in. He would have a theme, but I would seldom follow it, and I would usually just read things from current issues from Scarce Publications. And so in spirit of that, in light of that, I wanted to share with you guys poetry from recent Scarce Publications book releases. We'd go round robin, so it would just be from 1 to 3 in the afternoon at a bookstore, so I was going to read in a couple of different readings for you guys, and I hope you like them. This first one I was going to read from was from the most recent issue of cc&d magazine, which is actually the April 2021 issue, which is volume 308. There are actually more than 308 issues. There'd be a month where it'd be like, 251.25, 251.5, 251.6, 251.8. I mean, I did things like that because there were so many issues for special releases that this thing has been going on and having so many book releases as well as chapbook releases. But this new issue of cc&d is titled The Garden of Eden, and it's got probably my favorite Buddha picture I've ever seen from a hotel in Chicago on the cover. And I thought that was a beautiful justification, a transposition of things that people find salvation, heavenly nirvana in different religions or none at all. So I thought this was a beautiful combination because we we choose writings for titles, and we choose titles based on accepted writings within issues. One of the pieces in here is called The Garden of Eden, and I thought this would be an appropriate cover for it, especially with the month with Easter, right? That's what I thought. Anywho, I thought I'd read for you a few poems from this. Probably go to the back of the poetry section, and we'll see how this goes. I hope you guys enjoy this. This first one is actually there's tiny print. I'm going to use my Tom, the previous host of the open mic, his reading glasses because it's really tiny type for saying that this was written on the 10th of April, on the day it was both National Farm Animals Day and National Society for the Prevention of the Cruelty to Animals Day, on the 10th. So in case you want to know that, this piece is written for that on this day that is titled Just One Day, Let a Girl Dream. After Seeing Today was set aside to honor the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, this vegetarian then thinks that it's good that at least one day is being set aside to honor the cause. And then I see that as far as national holidays go, that today is also National Farm Animals Day. The side of you that supports life suddenly feels dread. Was this created to be nice to the animals before they kill them? So I had to research this, and I was pleased to learn that National Farm Animals Day was created to raise awareness about the plight and slaughter farm animals go through and actually look for homes for abandoned and abused animals still alive. This pleases me. Maybe I'll wear my spam shirt today that I only bought from Monty Python. And I'll smile at more than one person cares about the life of animals. Added bonus, this day also doesn't happen to be National Hunters Day or anything else that may revel in the usual American way of reveling slaughtering of animals. So maybe, if other people aren't aware of it around the world, maybe the world for just one day may subconsciously realize and think in the back of their minds that the things that humans can do to animals is just not right. I know it won't change. It won't change people's minds. But for just one day, let a girl dream. That was the first poem. I should give a hello wave to anybody that is watching live. This is in honor of the poetry open mic that was on the first Wednesdays of every month in Austin at Half Price Books called Community Poetry. This is not that open mic, but in honor of that thing, I would come and read things from current books. I am reading things from the new book from cc&d magazine, the April 2021 issue that is titled The Garden of Eden. I know this is the month of Easter, but I thought it was a beautiful juxtaposition to put a Buddha statue on the cover with it. So let's see what other topics that are related to events in April I've got in this book. On the next page, this was written on the 1st of April, this poem, and it was written on National Atheists Day. Well, you know they've got to love that in Texas. So this is a poem that is called Fiction Becomes Nonfiction. Over 15 years ago was when a fictional story started circulating about around the internet, that an atheist was suing the government because there were so many religious holidays and there were no atheist holidays. As the story goes, the ACLU represented them in court to get a holiday, but the judge told them that they already had a holiday. There already was a holiday for atheists on April 1st. April Fool's Day. And yes, that is insulting, especially when the judge said this because of the Bible passage, Psalm 14:1, which states, "The fool says in his heart, there is no God." Using the Bible to call atheists fools. That's rich. When all religions ask you to believe in the impossible when they have no proof. And based on this, atheists are fools? How deliciously rich. When morality is not prescribed by religion, when religions were once created to explain what people could not understand, when countless wars have been fought for religion, and when our feeble human brains have begun to use science and empirical data to explain what was only fictionalized by a god, maybe atheists can appreciate April Fool's Day as Atheist Day, since everywhere around them believing in God is fooling themselves already. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know how people react to that one, but that was one for you because, as I said, these are from different events that happened in April in the cc&d book, The Garden of Eden. This next poem was written on the 27th of April, which was National Smell Day, which happens on the last Saturday of April. And this poem is called Xeryus Colognes, Aromas, and Scents. And you can't see it, but that starts with an X. Xeryus, Xeryus. It's not Serious. So anywho, this is about the sense of smell. Xeryus Colognes, Aromas, and Scents. At 3 a.m, walk out into a wheat field, through hip-high blades of grass still wet with dew. The moisture tingles your legs, but what catches you is the smell of the wheat. You can even smell that it's green. Breathe in the wheat field expanding for acres in the dark, screaming with life. You can't smell this in the city, so take a moment and inhale. In the springtime, when plants become alive again, step outside. Everything is in bloom again. In the north, lilac trees bloom with the most beautiful smell, and daffodils only around for weeks in the spring, but their hypnotic smell may live within you until the next year. And go ahead and head south, and you'll find purple and yellow flowers to excite your sense of smell. Even feel the petals of a rose before you inhale deeply. These smells attract life, so accept their call and inhale. When life aggravates you, give yourself a moment and find a matchbook. No, not to light a lighter, not for a lighter. Get a matchbook. And if you can, go to a darkened room and light a match. Smell the sulfur assault your nose while the one flame assaults your eyes. Your eyes grow accustomed to the light and you relax. You begin to miss that sulfur smell. So, light another match. Decide to soak in the sun in 120-degree Arizona heat and eventually catch that smell. Wait, it smells like someone is barbecuing. Look around. What's that smell? Where is it coming from? And it occurs to you that there is no one around for miles. And you realize that that burning, that smell is actually coming from you. I think you're done. It's time to go inside. As the seasons change, walk outside and follow that thin line of smoke to find its origin until you find a small pile of burning autumn leaves. The intoxicating smell reminds you of childhood campfires, ghost stories told around burning logs, defying the cool night air. Smile as you inhale and remember the wonder these smells can bring you. Sure, smell relates to taste, but it's also so much more. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is a reading from the book cc&d, this April 2021 magazine issue. It's titled The Garden of Eden, and I'm going to read 2 more one-page poems from this book for you, and then I'm going to take a break because like this up and Mike went, you would read something and other people would read and then you'd come back and read again. So for the next 2 hours I'm going to be coming back and forth and reading from different books. I hope you guys enjoy it. This one is not related to any day in April, oddly enough, but the last one will. This poem is titled Once Craned My Neck. I know you've joined me all around this country. I've photographed bison who stopped us from driving when they crossed the road. I know you've been with me through the national parks and down the most congested streets this country has ever known, over solidified sands that made ripples in the road. You were with me every time I drove 2 states away to see my dying best friend. But right now, all I can think about is when I was in Montana, driving from one state to the next, and there was no speed limit there. So as I got to the top of this deserted mountain road on some Sunday morning, I then craned my neck to see if any cops were around, because it still felt like I was doing something illegal when I floored it and sped until that speedometer could no longer rise. I don't know if you'll ever notice, but I want you to know that even when you cause me problems, you were always there for me. And I'll never forget that. You even once saved my life. I just want you to know just how much you've meant to me. And I'll miss you. I don't want to count the minutes until we're no longer together. And before we even separate, I still cry. I'll miss you. I miss you already. I'll miss you. I just realized who that was about. And no one would guess it, so I'm not going to tell you. But I'm going to read this last poem for you guys from this book from cc&d magazine, titled The Garden of Eden. This is a poem that was written on the 11th of April. It was written on and during the second full week of April, which is National Library Week. Hey! National Library Week. Today's the 7th, so we're probably in National Library Week right now. So enjoy this one poem for it. This is called Just Read a Book. Remember your childhood, walking to the local library. It was great to borrow books. For free, I tell you. You didn't even have to give them any money for it. And you had this then chance to read a book versus, oh no, remember Blockbuster stores where you had to pay money to borrow a VHS tape before DVDs? Oh, the horrors. Because now the library even has movies and music releases, as well as audiobooks. What a deal. When I don't have the time to read massive nonfiction books, I would take a library audiobook with me on road trips and multitask my way to a higher state of being, and all on the honor system without spending a dime. As I got older, that library from my childhood asked me to feature read my poetry at that library. What an honor, I thought. But the more I thought about it, the more I was in awe at just how much a library can do. Because more people go to the libraries than all movie ticket stubs sold annually. As such a trusted source, libraries have housed rare artifacts and for safekeeping, like even an original copy of the Bill of Rights, as well as being a place to catalog everything of value to us. And why not? Former FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover, famous author Lewis Carroll, former First Lady Laura Bush, and even China's Mao Zedong were all librarians, which shows why job opportunities for librarians have remained on the rise. It makes sense if it does all this, along with giving both rich and poor the chance to use this place to learn and to grow. It is nice to know that not everyone is relying on their smartphones to give them all the temporary answers they can think of. So, instead, just read a book. Even a free one. It's worth it. Hey, that is a perfect way to end this reading from cc&d Magazine's The Garden of Eden, which was released on the 1st, no April Fools, but that's how it rolls in the beginning of the month. If you'd like to know anything about this, you can search for The Garden of Eden from Amazon, because this is an Amazon book, or at scars.tv, you can search for cc&d Magazine and find any of the books that we've got. I want to thank everybody for this reading. I will be back very shortly for another book reading. I've got stacks of books here to work with, so I will be reading more for you guys within the next 2 hours. So I hope everyone's remaining safe. I hope everyone's remaining creatively inclined. And if you're so aggravated that this has just been too much to handle because we've had to be separated from the world, just remember that it will end soon, sooner or later, and that you are loved and we'll all get through this. So each one of you hang in there, and I will talk to you all very, very soon. Thank you very, very much.